Hi, I'm Dennis Hansen, and this is my Chevy C1500. Today I'm going to be replacing the rear transmission seal, and it's not too big a job, so I'll go through my prep and show you how to do it. Okay, so the first thing I did was I put some 4x4 blocks in front of all the wheels and put the car in neutral, set the emergency brake, and put a couple jack stands under the rear end, one on each side. Then I sprayed these bolts where the universal joint is with some PV blaster, and try to help loosen those up a little bit. Okay, before I get too much into it, I want to mark the drive shaft and where it meets up with the differential. So that I put it all back together the way it came apart. I also want to mark it where the output shaft is and where the front of the drive shaft is. So I'm using an 11mm socket, and I used the breaker bar at first just to break them loose. Okay. And there we go. Here's the seal. My plan is to take a screwdriver and get under that lip a little bit. Be careful, don't damage the transmission. Try to work that seal, bust it loose a little bit, and then pry it off. We'll see how that goes. Alright, so after working my little screwdriver around, and it works pretty good if you get one that's got a short handle. You just keep working this seal around, and hopefully it's going to pop for me. It's very close. Yeah, I had to use two hands to give it a little tap out, but that's what it looks like. Make sure you clean it all up real nice. Prep it for the new seal. Here's the old seal. Here's the new. I will coat this with transmission fluid, and on the back side of this flange I put RTV. Alright, so I put RTV around here, the outside, and not a super lot, but just enough to make a small fillet on that flange. And then automatic transmission fluid inside this this part here. Just coating it. Make sure it's nice and lubricated. Gets in all there's little ridges in there. Make sure that gets soaked. Okay, so I put it on there. Just pushed it on there by hand pressure. Now I'm just going to go around and tap this brown flange part lightly, work it in. With a little bit of patience, keep going round and round. You can get that thing, and eventually you'll get that flange flush with the transmission. Alright, before I reassemble this, put this pilot back in the output shaft. I'm going to do a little cleanup just to make sure it's nice and no burrs or anything to tear up the new seal. The way I'm going to do this is with a little Scotch-Brite pad, and just run it around there, clean everything up. Okay, then you want to slide that back on. Make sure your lines, these are going to align, and they will once I lift up the drive shaft, put it in place. So when I took separated the universal joint, the cap did fall off both sides, but the good thing is the needle bearings did not fall out, and they seem to be in good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and set this drive shaft. It's back in. All I got to do is put the straps and the bolts back on. Alright, so it's a good idea. I cleaned up the bolts and the clamps, a little brake cleaner. And when I put it together, I'm going to use a little anti-seize. All my bolts are hand tight. Marks are lined up. Everything's good. Okay, so my front marks are aligned. So everything's good. So the new transmission seal's in. I'm real happy about it. Took the truck for a little ride. Checked it. Everything looks really good. It's about, if the shop does that job, it's probably like $250, almost $300, and it's only a $9 part. So it's well worth your time to do that. I just used a couple jack stands. Really not all that many tools. So I'm real happy with the outcome, and we'll see what happens next. Thanks for watching.